Hello, how are you today? Do you forgive yourself when something happens? What do you think about mistakes? How do you feel when you look at the past and you find out that you had something to do with the consequences? The actual consequence is based on something you did. How do you talk to yourself at that point? What do you think about moving on in life? Do you think when someone does something to you, they deserve a punishment? Do you think someone has to pay back what he or she did to you? So, my intention is to invite you to a reflection today. And the reflection is about how we resume the past, therefore, how we see the present, and what we really think about ourselves. If there is not a genuine knowingness, an absolute unshakable way of understanding that it is okay to make mistakes, we will pay the price. Dysfunction is guaranteed. Why? Because accepting that we are humans, that you are just perfect as you are, and if your life situation now, you interpret it as the final, you will find out that you will feel unable to resolve. So when we switch and we think, instead of this is the final moment, this is an opportunity to start again. I am just perfect as I am. I couldn't do it better. I didn't know at that time. Because obviously, if you had the choice to select something that was correct, that was useful for you, you would have chosen it. So if at that time you couldn't have the selection, the priority that could be better for you, it is okay. Sometimes we fall in the trap of punishing ourselves. You know why? Because we want people to be punished. We want someone that did something that we didn't like. We want him to pay or she to pay the price of it. We feel vulnerable. Now, knowing that it is okay to make mistakes, and we refuse to think that punishment can fix the situation, we regain the power again. So there is a hidden power in us that the only way to uncover it is bringing to the table the humility to recognize that you are perfect and okay as you are. And we have to acknowledge the way we assume that the past is. We assume, we accept things without having a deep reflection on it. For example, if I had some addiction in the past, and when I defined what happens Watch the tone, watch the vibe, see the shame, see the energy of feeling guilty, sorry. Feel the power of that energy. Feel your shoulders. So what we do is unconsciously, we block the capacity to move on, to forgive, to understand that this is a life workshop where we will move to stages, through stages to moments. We are moving. So moving on means clearing the path all the time with self-love, with absolute humility to recognize that we are limited as humans. First, the culture, the style of living. I live in the UK and I found something interesting. It's not very usual to see openness to share how the struggle is at that moment or the pain. Why? It's not about your fault. It might be because in this culture, it's not very usual for someone to share how they feel. Or it's not very usual to listen to others and say, oh wow, that resonates in me. With this, I have the chance to open. We have to keep moving, keep doing, keep working. So let me tell you something. There are 3 stages in life. Crucial. One is when we want to get something. That comes from the teachings, from the culture, from the beliefs, from the system, from the programming, from the social media, from anything surrounding you. They will teach you that you have to get out there, get something, get status, get money, get privilege, get recognition. Now, that stage is a struggle. Why? Because the more you try to chase something, the further it is. Why? Because out there, there is nothing. It is all inside. But you are being taught, you are being trained by that way. Now, without the compassion to forgive ourselves because we have been trained, it is literally a kind of heritage that you just find it in your hands and you follow the rhythm. So what does that mean? I have to get my name out there. My self-recognition, my worth depends on what I get. Now, the barrier to cross that stage is when you start to recognize that, okay, I am able to get this. I can work, I can have my status, I can achieve. Then you move to doing things to prove yourself. Because I was able to get it, now I'm going to do things. You feel empowered because you have crossed the stage of getting. But sometimes we miss the review. We miss to reward ourselves. We miss to forgive. And also we miss to understand that the mind, from logic, you can get as far as the point that when you are doing something. More than that, logic is not useful. It's pragmatic for survival, yes. Science, productive, yes. But it's limited. There is no different with the in the subconscious. It doesn't different the reality, the truth from what is false. Therefore, how can I rely on my mind to understand a whole context of my life. It's impossible. I need to rely on something bigger. So when we are in the state of doing, this is important because you create business, you create something, you feel like, okay, I'm the owner now. I am the engine that is producing and is creating. But also there is something here. There is a matter here, a fact to watch. What do we think about ourselves? We feel pride. We feel more desire because the more we do, we want more. Now, when a mistake happens, watch the punishment. Watch the judgment. I was able to get, and now I'm doing. Do I admit failure? Do I recognize that if I don't do, I will feel small? Am I able to understand that if something happens, a mistake, I am human? Do I really know that this life is a school, is an opportunity to recognize my awareness, what I am? So when you are doing, you are focused, your attention is in that. Therefore, you join yourself because this is attractive as well. You find people in your same stage. So in life, we need to be careful when we position ourselves. This is good, this is right. We become defensive. So therefore, rigid. We don't admit. There is no compassion for us to slow down, to really find the meaning of the context of the life. Not that moment, which is transitory. It will pass. The context of your life. The whole game. Since when you were born, when you imagine yourself in your deathbed and saying, I have done exactly the thing I was made and created for, which is the third step. When you choose to become someone, that's the wonderful state. Why? Because you have passed the stage of getting, which is survival. You're fighting, you are competing with yourself and others. And if you have to be selfish, you will be in order to get it. Then you are doing, which there is desire that drives you. You want to achieve that thing. You know you can do it. Therefore, you feel pride because it's a way to prove yourself that by your own, you can do things. But that's very difficult because you become defensive. You don't want to lose that stage because your whole reputation will be broken. Now, when we bring love, when we bring the real light, we become. Now, we just want to become an agent of service. We just want to give. We know that the universe is a source of infinite, unlimited capacity to provide us what we want. Therefore, we relax. We don't compete. We don't need to. We have more than enough because we already understand that we are perfect as we are. And also, we don't relate to the past because the past is exactly one of the leaves of our tree that has to fall down and allow space for new ones. We forgive others because at that time they couldn't do it better. We have a wide understanding. Now, because we have achieved wisdom, we have achieved knowledge. When you are on the stage of doing, you are attracted to knowledge. You are willing to learn. You are open. But now with that knowledge, when we transform it into love, that's the highest and is powerful. So with love, you will never judge yourself like the way you are doing it now. With love, you will not hide yourself. You will show up to yourself and to others. You know what? I have been scared in this situation. Oh, me too. And this happens, they happen. Right now, in this situation in the past, I was feeling small. But now, I trust. I always invite you to give yourself the chance, if you like, to ask one question. If I don't believe in a higher energy as the universe, as my creator, how is it that from logic, from the mind, from reason, I cannot explain what am I, where I came from, what am I doing here? The simple question the mind cannot explain. To understand my body, I had to go and learn about the body. Therefore, if this was mine, I wouldn't have to go out and learn. Intrinsically, I would know. Even my heartbeat, my heart rate, I have to use an external machine. So the mind is constantly showing us that it is limited. When it comes to give a meaning, a context, when it comes to see it in different ways, any situation that is painful, from the mind, we are limited. From the heart, from love, is expansive and is exclusive because it would include you and others. Compassion is not only for you. Once you have compassion for you, it would allow you to see people from the perspective, from the reality that is truth. My father couldn't do it better. My mother couldn't do it better. My husband, my ex-wife, my this. You have the compassion because it starts from you. So if you are being addicted to something, from love you will understand. I was limited. I didn't really taste the stage of becoming. I didn't know that this is unfolding constantly and any unfolding is an opportunity. Now, stepping out of your comfort zone in anything will show you how big, how extensive this game is. If you stick to a position, to a way of thinking, playing the duality of right or wrong, you will find out that you are in the same state. So to finish this video, my clear intention is to invite you to ask yourself, what stage am I right now? Am I in the stage of getting? You will understand that you are in a needy position. You don't feel your power. Am I in the stage of doing? You are just obsessed of doing and proving because it's a cycle. The more you do, unconsciously the ego is telling you, yes, that's your value. But the price of failing, you will go back to getting. You will punish yourself. You will judge yourself. Sometimes it's very useful to see when you can do 100 things good, very good, perfect. One mistake, and your focus will shift to that mistake. And you will evaluate yourself from that mistake. Does this sound familiar? How many times have you spoke to yourself in a very hard way, forgetting the 100 times you have been moving on, growing up, assuming life, opening to life, doing things perfectly as you are? But where's the focus? To the mistake. That's the price. Also, when we're in the stage of getting, we don't really taste what we are because we think outside is what will provide us. Now, when we move to the one of love, the universe is in us. I'm not competing. Why? Because the source that will provide me is infinite. Therefore, if you are a millionaire or a billionaire or whatever, or you are rich or you are happy or you are married, I am happy too because we are in the same stage. I'm not competing. If my blessings comes later than yours, I'm happy to see yours. Your blessings is a reference that mine is coming. Therefore, with the kids, we can understand them. With our parents, we can understand them. With ourselves, we can understand ourselves. So today, find out, will you love to get to the stage of loving, of becoming? Then you need to trust the universe. Then you need to trust the unseen. Then you need to trust the subjective proof of it. There is something that the only way to prove it is experiencing it in the first place. That is your guidance. That is your compass. That is your direction. Now, it's only love. It's the intention to understand broadly, wisely. It is the absolute no matter what intention to forgive and be compassionate, no matter what. You are driving, you hit someone in the cycle, he falls in the ground. Oh, I'm stupid. I shouldn't have done this. Compassion. Maybe I didn't have the capacity to avoid using the phone. I couldn't avoid being distracted. And my clear intention wasn't to smash someone with my car. When you speak to yourself like that, you are more responsible. Therefore, you can say, I'm sorry from the heart because you understand that you are human and it's okay. So, please consider, if you like, share how you feel with people. Don't keep it to yourself. I'm seeing this in this country. Politely, people will say, all good thanks. Are you sure all is good? Why will we wait for the state to get worse, for us to ask for support, for us to ask for help, to share with people how we feel? So tonight, would you like to study where you are? If you are in a doing position, slow down because it's a cycle. As soon as you achieve something, it's thinking in the next. And the ego is promising you that that's your value, whilst you are avoiding the quality of life, which is you. If you are getting, slow down because getting is not life. You don't have anything. What has a value for you today in 10 years? You don't even want to look at it. But love is permanent. And also, it brings health, it brings wealth, it brings clarity, and you are more attractive because you play with the universe. Thank you for watching. The next video, I will talk about the pain that can change your life. Take care. Thank you very much.